Greetings, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. It has been a week. It's actually at a point in my week where I am relaxed. So, little backstory. About a week ago, well, exactly a week ago, my father had fell out of. He had fell in the barn at my parents' house. And eventually the ambulance was called and he was transferred to a level 1 trauma center 45 minutes away. And he was there, and my mother had no navigational sense to get there, and I did. So needless to say, I went with her. He was still there and he has been there all this week until a couple hours ago, and he's transferred into his next level of care. Well, he will get the care he needs to get back on track, hopefully. But in the course of the past past week, I have been there 6 out of the 8 days, with my mother, supporting her and being there for her. Needless to say, I probably didn't need to be. Needless to say, there were other people who were willing to help. I think, it's hard to ask people to help. And even if people offer to help you, it can be hard to accept it and do things that may help you. But in essence, it can be knowing when you need to take a break for you. And that is the title of this vlog. Knowing when to take a break for you. As an autistic person, it can be hard for me to sense when I need to step back from a situation that can be overpowering. And being that pretty much yesterday was the 6th day out of 7 that I had been going back and forth on 45-minute drives back and forth to this hospital, and that it had become stressful. And while I had been glad to be there a few times and see some of the progress and make my father feel better about himself, it in a way caused some irritability at the end. And eventually, if you don't take care of yourself, and granted, I have been taking care of myself as far as sleeping and taking my medications, all of that. But eventually, if you don't totally take care of yourself and totally relax, you can't pour. As I say, you can't pour from an empty cup. And when there's no more to pour, you're just going to crash and burn. And today was one of those days where it was getting that way. And it really, for the most part, did. I had intentions of starting the day good. And there was some uncertainty if my father was going to be released from the hospital. And I think that further complicated the situation to where you begin to get into that negativity. And even if you don't have the answer of what's going on, the signs become more apparent that you need to take care of yourself. And I think for me as an autistic person, even though people say, there's other people to help you, or how can I help you, or, sometimes you're not picking up on those signals. You're not understanding it. Yesterday at work, I did stay at work a good many hours, and everybody kept saying, you need to take care of yourself. I had people text me, you need to take care of yourself. And I think, when yesterday came and we went to the hospital and it was getting late in the day, and realizing, yeah, I do need to take care of myself. And then today, when it hit that, there was more irritability to the situation, and eventually I had to realize that I had to step back. And thankfully, everything worked itself out. But sometimes you do have to step back. Sometimes you do have to take care of yourself. There are things that need to be done, and it can be hard. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't not take care of others unless you are taking care of yourself. And we can say that, me writing blogs and me doing this is something that compounds the issue. But again, it's something that I enjoy and isn't making me irritable and isn't causing strife and isn't, causing some uncertainty and change. And granted, there has been a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change in the past week. And even though it was announced and everything, you never knew what to expect from day to day. And having that, and and trying to be there for others and support others, and you can be a good person and you can be a kind person. And even though you need to take care of yourself and you put everybody else before yourself, it's still hard. And realizing that I finally understood and I accepted that I needed to take a step back from the situation for a while and really regroup myself and get myself under control. Because if I did not do that, and I can even sense it today as I was going out shopping, that I was being irritable and stuff. And I knew I had to step back from the situation, as hard as it could be, as challenging as it could be. It was something that I knew I had to do. And when you sense that you're being irritable and you're not doing what you need to do, it's important to step back. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I was accoladed for doing that, because you would rather have somebody have someone such as myself take a step back rather than keep going and going and going and be more irritable to the point you reach your boiling point and you have a meltdown or a shutdown or something similar, that you make yourself look more bad. And I think that's the reality of it. And I think more and more as time has progressed, even more so in the past year and going forward since my relapse the end of last summer, I'm realizing more and more and more the importance of being able to take care of myself, and realize how important it is to not get to that point where I erupt into a meltdown and cause a scene and make people look at me. Things are irritating, things are challenging, but if you're going to be that way, and if it's going to be hard for you to endure what can be challenging, it's important to step back and take care of yourself. And even though the things that I have that are going on in my life, in my family's life, is getting better but every day, and tomorrow will be a much better day, I still needed some more time, and there's nothing wrong with that. We can only do what we're able to do. And eventually, if you don't take care of yourself by caring for yourself in the way that you need to, you will break down. And I think as much as I've been sleeping this week, it's been sleep, hospital, eat junk food. Really haven't got to focus on what my routine is and getting back into my routine. As we know, a lot of us as autistic people thrive off of routines, and having that routine constant interrupted for an extended period of time will set you up to boil. And it's going to be it's going to be good in a way to get back into that routine. But yet it's going to be hard too, because your mind's always on things that, even though you can't control, you have to come to peace with things that the situation that you are worrying about or overthinking about is at peace, and that there are other people who can help with the situation at hand or whatever you need. When somebody offers you help or somebody asks, is there anything you need? It's very important to take advantage of that. It's very important to get the help that you need, because, people wouldn't do that unless they really could and follow through with it. It doesn't cost anything more to be kind. And, people really want to help. And that's, it's good that it's always good to have people who you can count on to help you get through things that are challenging for you. And through this whole ordeal this past week, it's taught me more too, that as much as I need to care for myself, I need to work on getting friends too. And that might be a battle within itself. And that might eventually come within time, but I need to do what I need to do for myself more, and do more self-care and more of being able to break down those barriers that I'm having so that I can eventually have other people to count on, that I can reach out to when I am struggling and need help and need things, have to have things to do, that other people that I count on have other issues or have other needs and cannot help me do what I need to do. I think having a bigger support, you can never have too big of a support system. And even though for myself as an autistic person has great struggles with making connections with others, there is somehow this deep deep need now I'm seeing more and more every day to be connected with others who can help me get through the challenges of life and help me connect on a deeper level than what I need, maybe from a professional or a family relationship, even though I'm working more to extend the family relationships with people. And I've done that. And sometimes it's hard, but working on communicating better too is important. But one of the biggest things that I've done this week is tell myself I need to step back from a situation. And even though now it is more under control than it has been for most of the week, and I can do what I want to do and do at least some sort of thing that produces good energy and makes me feel good. And hopefully tomorrow will be a new day and I can get back into somewhat of a routine or be able to relax more and enjoy the rest of the holiday coming up, as it is Memorial Day here in the States, and enjoy the holiday and try to get back into some normality of a routine, even though that is going to be changing soon. It's eventually, things are going to change again, and I'm okay with that. But I think when it affects me more and it's in a positive manner, that's good. But when you have things that you can't control and things that are very challenging, and you want to be there to make things, to know things are going well, or things, or making sure people are okay, there's also a sense that I have to step back. And I think throughout this whole ordeal this past week, it's also realizing that I had such a deep empathy and care for my mother, that I wanted to make sure she got to and from the hospital okay, that I was, even though I could have trusted these other family members or these other people who could get her there, I could, there was part of me that just couldn't let it go. And sometimes we have to be willing to take the offers that others give to us. And I think it's a lesson for both myself and my mother, who is listening, who is probably watching this later. But I think we all live and learn from our experiences. But I'm glad now that I can, from now that things are easier, and that I can take a step back from the situation. But it is important to always take care of yourself in whatever way that may be, whether that's putting music on again and again, getting some extra sleep, as I have done today, you know, cleaning up things, journaling, writing, whatever that may be, whatever makes you feel better about you. And taking care of you is the most important responsibility. But taking time to care of for you is that you give yourself a little extra TLC and you are able to care for you. So with that being said, I think I've said my piece for this vlog for the week. And I just wanted to get that point across, because I think that was one of the biggest steps that I had to make for myself. So if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to this video. I really appreciate all the continued support that I get. If you haven't already, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Pinterest. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web. That website is www.dustinsdynastyusa.com. And if you want to see everything that all of my links, you can go on my link tree. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. Again, thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend. And remember those in the states that have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice by having a happy Memorial Day. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good week.